Disclaimer: the content in this video is not for anyone under the age of 18 to watch. The content in this video is strictly for educational and entertainment purposes only. I give my opinion and let the user form their own decision. I am not encouraging anyone to do anything.
Viewer discretion advised. Adult content, 18 and over.
Now I'm going to show you the difference between the Jones Pod, the Juul Pod, and the Q Pods. And the Q Pods are also like every other pod, refillable pod that you find online, and the tools that you might need. And I'm also going to show you what happens if you have the wrong coil in it. This is the average Juul Pod, but what I did was I put the wrong coil in there, that swirly thing that you might see in the middle between those two gold pieces. I put a 30 gauge nichrome 80, and that did not work. And this is how I know it doesn't work. Look, that's not supposed to happen. It does not work. The light does not come up or anything. You see? It's probably the voltage, or I don't know. It does tell you the battery though. So this one has this wire in it, and it does not work. This is I think is a Ziip Pod. It's much nicer on the mouth because the mouthpiece is rounder. You see? There's more light. Again, this is how it looks. This is how this one looks. It's all scratched up because I've dropped it so many times. I stepped on it so many times. It's the exact same thing. The only difference is I took out the original wiring. Like the original wiring, I took it out and I just left it there because I couldn't put it back. It was too hard for me to put it back. But this is how it looks if it has no wire. It literally makes nothing. It's as if it's off. Does not work. Because the wire needs to touch those gold pieces in order for it to even work. As for this one, I got it at a smoke shop for $5, but you could probably get it online, like a whole pack of 4 for like 20 or something, or 15 or $12. What I like about these is basically the same, except the same as the Juul Pod, except you won't get splashes. Like, it's really hard for these to get splashed. And this has all its original pieces. What I like about is this thing is made of rubber, and this is how it looks. I think it's much more fancier, but it's way harder to like replace the pieces, and you know, because you have to, it's the exact same way as the Juul Pod. Pry it open, all of that. It's much easier to open because it's made to refill. And then here's the little piece that you refill it through there. But if you took out all the pieces, to change the coil, it's just much easier. As long as you have long piece of coil, sort of like that, except the right gauge. You basically, wait, first let me show you how it looks if you connect it. That's how it should be. It's literally the exact same thing. This one's a little chewed up though, except piece looks a little different. And it's about the exact same size. These contacts is way easier to open. We're gonna open it right now. This is basically how it looks. It's literally it. It's easier to re-wick. It's easier to put the coil. This piece, this entire piece comes out like that. The wiring will go through a little hole each side, and then it would touch its contact pieces. And these contact pieces can come out as well. You see? You just stick it back in. But you got to be really careful because these things, I've done this and it went flying. Put it back, you just slip it right back in. See? And my favorite one, even though it's as hard as the Juul Pod, is the Jones Pod. This is how it looks. The exact same thing.